Hello, world. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. We're really glad that you're joining us. Thank you so much. We are diving into the latest tech news and specifically the AI news. We cover the latest news that we're sort of uncovering and just sharing our views and opinions as we uncover it. The space is moving fast, so we want to keep on top of it and share the latest with you. So, Will, what grabbed your eye this morning?
You're going to think this is a really boring article, Ben, but I promise there's probably an interesting discussion under the surface of it. So let me share my screen, and I'll share it with you, and then we'll talk about it, as always. So let's click share.
Always a pleasure. Hey, listen, guys, it doesn't cost anything, but we're a new channel, and if you could hit the like, subscribe, we'd really appreciate it. And just drop us say hello in the comments. You know, it would be great to start interacting and saying hi and all the rest of it. So really appreciate it. Doesn't cost anything. A little bit of support, a little bit of love would be amazing. Thank you. Will, yeah, what's this Google Gemini? What's this all about?
So it's less about Google Gemini. I don't much care for Google Gemini particularly. I think it's the underlying premise of what this article is about, and it's that Google Gemini has just topped the free apps on the App Store, and this is also interesting not just because of Google Gemini, but because of the top charts just in general. Let me zoom in. I don't know. Again, when we're recording, we have a lower quality version on our screens, but in your recording, when you see it on YouTube, you'll definitely see the high quality version. Let me zoom on this. I don't know if you can see this, Ben, but the top apps in the US that are free are both Google Gemini and ChatGPT. They rank above everything else. And I thought this is the crux of what I think is an interesting discussion for us to have for the next 10 minutes or so, is this trend. I mean, this is massive if you think about it. Out of all of the apps available on the App Store, we have 2 AI apps at the very top, downloaded by regular people, adopted by regular people, presumably. I just find that fascinating. I mean, that is a moving shift in behavior, if I ever saw one. And yeah, there's so much to unpack there. What do you think about it?
Yeah, you know what? I mean, on its own, you know, to be expected, I think. We know where the AI space is going. Still, you know, phenomenal. Being, you know, the 2 biggest apps that's being downloaded. Incredible. I think what it also shows to me is the adoption and the trajectory of where AI is going. So this is, you know, the most downloaded apps on, I'm guessing the App Store, maybe it's on both the App Store, Google Play and iOS and all the rest of it. So
this one particularly credits the Apple App Store.
Apple App Store, okay. So I think it just signifies that society as a whole, you know, it is going in that AI direction, and ultimately, we're seeing AI dominate the App Store. It's going to start dominating every other aspect of our world. From our the App Store to the way we work, to the way we interact, to just, you know, I mean, the mind boggles, because there's things that we probably haven't even considered or thought of, and where the future's heading. You know, we can start, you know, playing, you know, these sort of sci-fi futuristic games in our minds, imagining what the future's going to hold. So I think it's just a signal of the way the world's going to be going, more than anything else. And I think that's fascinating in itself. So if anyone's watching this who is not sure about AI, or is uncertain, or is worried, I think the key is just to start using it on a daily basis, even at a very low level, simple level. Watch shows like ours, which are keeping you up to date on what's happening in the AI news, and the wider tech space, because the space is moving super fast and things are always changing, which is why we wanted to do this show, because it helps us keep on top of the latest news and what's happening, and then we can obviously share it with you guys. So hopefully there's helpful there and some value. So I think it just signals a real shift in the way that the whole society is going to operate. For me, I think
this is showing, you know, a big trend in clearly non-technical people also adopting and using things like ChatGPT and Gemini in their daily workflows, because you wouldn't be able to top app stores without it. There's going to be a huge amount of people that don't know how the technology works, that have maybe heard about it recently, are very non-technical, that are getting benefit and using it, which is huge. I think it's even more interesting when you look at the apps that follows it. It's beating Google Search, it's beating Google Maps, it's beating all of the email apps, all of the technologies from the last 20, 30 years that we are familiar with within the tech space. It's beating. And I think for me, that is just fascinating. What I want to know is what people are doing once they have it on their phone. Obviously this article talks about Google Gemini because they've just released their Nano Banana model, which is insanely realistic image generation, and obviously that drove a massive amount of hype towards people downloading it to give it a try. I mean, I even showed my own mum, and she was mind blown by how realistic the images came out the other side. So it's getting so good now that it's capturing the attention of people that aren't technical and they want to download it and try it. I want to know what else they're doing with it. Once you get Google Gemini or phone or ChatGPT, do you use it to search the web, find information? What's the use case for most people, because it's so diverse?
It's interesting. I think what it's certainly illustrating as well is just that there is real adoption. And that will really help with people who are building AI tech, because people will start to get used to using AI generally, and then they'll be much more comfortable and used to using AI in other apps and products that businesses start developing and think about and introducing as we progress. I think the other interesting thing is that also, I think it demonstrates that this isn't a fad. It was interesting. I'm just thinking back to, it maybe 2017, 2016, maybe, when voice was really like the thing. And there were some commentators saying that, voice is the future, voice is the future. And no doubt voice is still going to be, it's still super important. And being able to talk to an AI, for example, is still going to be really important. A weird experience for some people, and I think people get more and more used to it. But it never really sort of grabbed the imagination as potentially expected. We got Amazon, Alexa and Siri and all the rest of it. And, there's voice applications, but it didn't dominate. And this is, I think, an example of a proper domination of a new technology, which is interesting. And I think, things like voice is just going to be almost like a functionality of, for example, AI. It's just one layer within, a much lower functionality sort of league. AI is like the daddy, and you have all these sort of, functionalities or tools or features that sort of, come off it. So, I think that's quite an interesting angle. And I just remember back to, people like Gary Vee who just saying voice is going to be, it's all about voice, and I'm investing in voice.
Good old Gary Vee has been on the bandwagon of everything.
I like Gary. I like him. But, he's got his style, and that's great. And
yes.
And I think it's very motivational and says a lot of smart things and encourages people and all the rest of it. So I got a lot of love for Gary, but and that's no disrespect to someone will say, well, he didn't sort of get that right at all. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is some technologies grab the imagination for a moment and sometimes sort of not fall off. They're still there, but don't grab the attention as they once did. And my point being is, I think AI is going to be is the game changer that we've been waiting for. I think it's not going away. That adoption is clear.
No, absolutely. I think we are experiencing the renaissance in people. I think it's much more going to be along the lines of the Renaissance than it is like the Industrial Revolution. I think we're watching people in real time discover and adopt this technology and uncover the massive benefits that it has in their personal lives, like we have for the last few years. I think this is an unlocking of human creativity, an unlocking of human potential, and now we're seeing it hit the mainstream properly. Regular people never heard of it, not technical at all, probably don't understand how it works, using it to lift their potential, lift their efficiency. I think that is an amazing thing, and I'm looking forward to seeing how else it unfolds for people.
Absolutely, mate. I think that's a really good perspective and really interesting. the human potential is being unlocked. I mean, it's going to be fascinating to see what that future holds, because we can only dream what that could look like. So very interesting, and a sign of the times, I think, a sign of the direction. So if you're not on board with AI,
Absolutely.
guys, get on board, start learning, start using it. Whether you're a 5-year-old exploring creativity, or whether you're an 80-year-old not sure what the hell this is all about, it can help you come up with recipe ideas. Just ask it, say, right, I've got this in the cupboard, help me with this. So anything you can imagine, you can ask it, which is amazing.
Absolutely.
So let your imagination run wild. Will, I think we'll wrap it up. I think that was a really little insightful bit of updates, a little bit of news,
Yeah, short and sweet.
Commentary.
Short and sweet.
Short and sweet, as always. And as ever, guys, keep tuned in for tomorrow. We'll be back on it, and maybe we'll bring you some more technical sides or technical perspectives, and we'll keep sharing the news and what's happening in this space. So for now,
Whatever
we'll love you and
flies our
leave you.
way.
Yeah, and we'll catch up soon. Take care, guys.
Cheers, guys.